Station, boys and girls, it's time for Blame and Fable and his amazing friends.
We take our passions and our fandoms and turn them into conversations with you.
Station. What is going on, everybody? Man, welcome to Blame Fable and his amazing friends, the UK Ireland massive special, man. I am so excited, so nervous about doing this show. I've been planning it for a long time and it's finally here. But please, without further ado, help me welcome Brother Joe.
Station. Man, it feels like Christmas. To me, it feels like I'm a kid in Christmas. So with that being said, here we go. Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really want a zig-zag. If you want my future, forget my past.
Hey.
If you want to get with me, you better make it fast.
Hey.
Don't go wasting my precious time. Get your act together. We could be just fine. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really want a zig-zag. If you want to be my lover,
hey.
Gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever. Friendships never end. If you want to be my lover, you got to give. Taking is too easy, but that's the way it is. So what you think about that? Now you know how I feel. Say you could handle my love. Are you for real? I won't go hasty. I'll give you a try. But if you really bug me, then I'll say goodbye.
Yeah.
So here's the story from A to Z. If you want to get with me, you got to listen carefully. We got M in the place who likes it in your face. We got G like MC who lets it all be. Easy V, don't come easy. She's a real lady. And as for me, you'll see. Stomp, 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 stomp. Slam your body down and wind it all around. Slam your body down and wind it all around. Slam your body down and wind it all around. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. If you want to be my lover, 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 lover,
yeah.
lover, lover,
lover. That is awesome, Brother Joe. That's fantastic.
I hope you know that I know where that song comes from.
Of course, yeah. Who doesn't know the Spice Girls over here, man? Oh, man, thank you for that, Brother Joe, man. As always, you come through and you put a big old smile on my face and make this show so much easier to do. I really appreciate you, my friend. I really do.
I'm Latin Spice.
You're Latin Spice. Oh, man. Welcome everybody to Blame Fable and his amazing friends. This is the UK Ireland massive special, man. Like I was saying earlier, this is a show that I've been planning for quite some time. Basically, we do this show, and sometimes when we do it, our friends from across the pond, they can't join us, right? It's way too late.
I've always felt so bad for them. Always.
Yeah, and I was kind of like taken aback of how many UK friends that we have. Like, it's really, really like, what do you call it? Like, endearing, or I don't have the proper word for it. But, one day we're scrolling through our chats and we're seeing people say, I can't stay for the show. It's late over here. But I'm just popping in to say hi. And we were getting quite a few of those, like, a bunch of them. And I'm like, wow, we have a lot of people from over there watching us. This is amazing. This is awesome. So, we came up with the idea, hey, why don't we just do a show that's early enough for them? And furthermore, why don't we just invite all of them to hang out with us? That'd be awesome. So here we are. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, man. I hope you guys have a good time. We're going to get to know some good friends, some good peeps from the UK, Ireland area, and, just get to know them, how they started collecting, what they're collecting, and what do they think about collecting now. It's going to be a great show. But first, I had to have a co-host, and fortunately for us, we have a co-host that's part of our team that's from the UK. A gentleman that I've met in person when he came to New York one time, I think last year or the year before, and we got to hang out and everything. So as soon as I thought of this show, I was like, I gotta get him to co-host the show. So I'm talking about my brother, that Geek Mark, one half of Geeks Unleashed. Let's welcome that Geek Mark.
Station. Hello guys, all right?
Yeah, you look good, brother. You look good.
Oh, thanks, man. I've sorted out my thing, by the way. It works perfectly now.
Oh, yeah. You looking good, brother. How are you, man? How was your week?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the week's not been as great. It started off with some car troubles. But as of yesterday, we have, we've placed a deposit for a new car, which we'll pick up next week.
Yeah.
And, cars are the bane of our lives. So. I'm not joking. On Monday, I literally was 10 minutes away from a garage when all of a sudden my whole dashboard lit up. I had to, even with my foot all the way down, I honestly, it suddenly was like all the power had suddenly started to go from the car. And honestly, it was the most stressful 10 minutes I couldn't believe I was 10 minutes from a garage. I knew I was 10 minutes away. I was heading that way anyway. And suddenly that happened anyway. So I managed to get it all the way up onto the forecourt. And I was like, can you guys have a look at it? And then they priced it up for me. And it's like, damn, it's not that much to fix.
No extra comics for you this week, Mark.
Yeah. I was like, at that price, I was like, I'm just going to get a new car. So, I've had it for 8 years. So, unfortunately,
Mark,
I feel like a part of me died that day. I love that car. But no, other than that, it's been all right. It's not been a bad week.
I've been waiting for this show ever since the Euro Cup. Thank you for giving it to my people in Spain. Thank you for giving it to my
I don't think we gave it to you.
Oh man! But
yeah, that was do you know what? That was a week ago, last Sunday. Yeah, there was some tears shed that day. I was not a happy man. So
Mark, I'm an American.
Yeah,
but growing up, I had a friend that was half Spanish and half English. His mother was from England. Yeah. And he is the one that gave me my love for England and soccer. He is the one that gave me my love for England. Because
it was a crazy night because you had obviously Spain unfortunately stole it again from us. But the same night in America, the Copa Cup, like absolutely insane. People jumping over fences.
Shit.
It's become really big over here.
For football. Yeah,
it's become real big.
Almost 1,000 people tried to break into the stadium without tickets. They said they had to shut the game down for half an hour to clear it out because people stormed the stadium without tickets. without tickets.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But Mark, man, thanks for joining me. Of course, when I thought of doing this show, you're the first person that came to my mind because I know you for the longest, and I know you're over there. Oh, we lost Brother Joe.
He's out. I'm gone.
He's gone.
He's gone to find Posh Spice, probably. So.
But yeah, man, tell the people, where are you from exactly in the UK?
Well, right now I live in North Oxfordshire, which is just an hour above London and an hour below Birmingham, so kind of in the middle. Originally was from London, born in Hammersmith, and lived in London for a good chunk of my life, and then just slightly outside as I got a little bit older. And then 3 weeks before COVID, moved to the house I'm in now, and been here for 4 years now in Oxfordshire. So when he's back. So. I thought you'd gone looking for Posh Spice.
You know, it's going to be one of those kind of shows. I'll be right back.
So yeah, that's where I live geography wise. There's no comic book shop in my town. There's no comic book shop that is a reasonable drive to go regularly. There is a comic book shop that's probably an hour. Yeah, there's several comic book shops that are at least an hour away, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, an hour.
So when I first moved here, there was a comic book shop in town, but he went out of business. In fact, actually, he did a runner, so he didn't pay, because over here a lot of businesses pay their rent quarterly in arrears. Okay, and he did a runner before he had to pay that quarter's rent, and because he was struggling. So, but I buy my comics and have them shipped to me online to my house. So I tend to buy them more monthly rather than weekly, because that's what I do. I tend to, payday just order that month's comics. So I buy them through Ace Comics. So
okay, yeah. Well, I'm glad you could join us today, my brother. Definitely gonna learn a lot today. You just taught me what a runner is. I had no idea what that was.
Oh, right, okay, like doing a runner, yeah, midnight. He did a little flip. He supposedly was redecorating the shop when he, in fact, was just packing shit up so he could not pay. So.
Oh, hey. Mike, is that where that term comes, Dexter's Midnight Runners? Because I heard there was a group by that name. I didn't know what runners meant until you explained it.
Oh, I don't know about that group, but maybe. But yeah, and that's Fable, as you said, we met 2 years ago in New York. So me, you, Big Herm, and we met up with another podcaster as well. We all went to Midtown Comics, which was cool, and you met my wife and my kids. And then we all went for beers afterwards, and Jasmine, my co-host of Geeks Unleashed, also came up from Texas. It was a really cool evening. So.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was such a great night. I had so much good memories from there. Big Herm was there. Yeah, one of my brothers. So yeah, no, that was awesome. Thanks for joining us, Mark. Man, of course, we got a bunch of other guests from the UK Ireland area that I want to bring in right away. So let's get started with that. First up, I want to bring in a gentleman that I just met just recently. And this gentleman, I met him because when I thought of the show, I was asking everybody, who should I bring on from the area, right? Like, who should I bring on? Like, we only had a handful of people. I wanted a little more. So everybody suggested.
Fable, not who should you bring on? Who would be willing and daring to come on your show?
Well, let me tell you, man, a lot of these guys, this is their first time doing a live stream. So this is going to be awesome experience.
What? This is live?
Yeah. But yeah, I just met this gentleman, and like I was saying, I was asking who should I bring on the show, and his name kept coming up. So of course I hit him up, and when I hit him up, he totally was fine. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm happy to come on." So let me introduce everybody to Mark's Marvelous Comics.
Hey everybody! Hi. Hello.
How are you, Mark? Man, thanks for joining us today.
I'm really good. Thanks. Yeah, this is my first stream. Never done a stream before, so thanks for asking.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll be regularly doing them now.
I'm not sure about that.
Don't tell me you're a virgin and it feels like the very first time.
It is. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah,
I don't know
Mark,
what to expect.
like I said, everybody that I asked about somebody coming on, they mentioned your name. So you're a real popular guy on IG, my brother.
Yeah, I only set the page up just to show me comics off when lockdown kicked in, it was just something to do. So that's what I did. And then people just like my stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you definitely got a following on IG, and you got a lot of people's respect for sure. Because, like I said, you're the name that came up first when I asked everybody. But thanks for joining us, my brother. Hopefully, we're gonna have a great time here.
Certainly will.
So next up, man, I want to bring in a gentleman that is not actually from the UK, and this guy, he's been a longtime friend of mine on IG. And the reason why I thought he was from the UK is because he kept posting books about Judge Dredd in 2000 AD. So when the show came up, I said, let me hit this guy up. I said, Banjo, you interested in coming on the show? He said, yeah, I'll come on. And then he was like, man, I can't believe you had me here with all the UK guys. I said, wait a minute, you're not from the UK?
Oh, shit.
Then he said, no, I'm not from the UK. I said, oh, snap. Oh, well. Just hang out with us anyway. You collect a bunch of this stuff, and that's a cool, like, juxtaposition, right? Like an American collecting a bunch of British comics, which I think is pretty interesting. So I want to definitely get into his backstory.
Yeah.
But let me bring him on, man. I'm talking about Banjo Zombie Station.
Howdy, fella. Station.
Hey.
How are you, Banjo, man? Thanks for joining us today.
Doing great. First time, just like Mark. First time streaming.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Oh shit! Watch your language, Fable. We got the virgins here.
Yeah, you're talking about Warren. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But Banjo, man, thanks for joining us, man. Let the people know, where are you, man, in the U.S.?
I'm located in Asheville, North Carolina. It's the western part up in the mountains.
Oh yeah. And I was telling everybody that, when I added you to the group, I had no idea you weren't from the UK. You had to tell me on the side. I was like, holy snap.
I was like, wait a minute. Is this allowed? I'm not from there.
But nonetheless, man, you're such a good guy, good supporter. You've been there with me for a long time. I feel like we've been friends on IG for a long time. You have an amazing collection, particularly, Judge Dredd, like I said, 2000 AD. But you also have old EC comics, right? Pre-code horror and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting, definitely getting into your backstory. So thanks again for joining us today, my brother.
My pleasure being here.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let me bring out this next gentleman. And this next gentleman is probably the inspiration for this show, because he's always trying to watch the show no matter what time it is over there, and every time I wake up the next day, he's posting like screenshots of our show, and he's a big supporter of us over here on Blame Fable and his amazing friends, and he's really the reason why I said, I got to do something for these guys. I got to have a show with these guys. So let me bring this gentleman on, man. You may know him from IG. I'm talking about Dimension Slip Gord.
Oh shit!
Hey.
We're live. We're live.
We're live. How are you, Dimension Slip Gord? How are you, my brother? Thanks for coming on.
I'm good. I'm honored to be asked to come on here as well, and not just type little messages prior to the show and after the show. So it's just great to be here and hanging out with you guys. Yeah,
and tell the people where in the UK you are located, my brother.
I am in the centre of the UK, God's country. It's an area called the Black Country, specifically Dudley, the heart of the Industrial Revolution. And it's near Birmingham, so it is very central, and it's about an hour and a half away from Mark.
Oh yeah.
In the middle one day.
Yeah. Actually, I've got a new job in Wantage that I've probably not that far from you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Wantage isn't too far.
2 hours for me though. So that's where you have to go for work sometimes.
Mr. Slip, I want to say thank you because ever since you found me, you've been liking everything I post up. Everything I post up, I see you there liking it. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Gord is a big supporter of the show. Like I said, big supporter of our pages. Always showing love to us. And like I said, he's a big inspiration for why we're even doing this show. So thanks, Gord, for joining us, brothers. It's good to see you. Is this your first stream as well?
Yeah, I'm a total virgin, although it is like being on Teams and your work colleagues. But actually, we get to talk cool shit rather than work shit.
And it's on YouTube forever, so your bosses can find
it. Well, thanks again, my brother. Happy to have you. Can't wait to get into your story and comic collecting and pop culture and everything. I'm going to swing back to Mark. Not you, Mark, my co-host. Marvelous Mark. Because I don't think I asked you where in the UK you are.
No.
Yeah, please tell us. Where are you?
I'm from a small town in Yorkshire called Ilkley. It's about 10 miles from Leeds. It's it's God's own country. That's what everybody terms it as. It's really nice and scenic around here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my brother. All right. So next up, this gentleman is a bit of a wild card, I like to call him. I love him to death, though. Unfortunately, he's having a little bit of an internet problem, so he might pop in and out. You know, we got to give him a little bit of time to answer questions and try not to speak while he's speaking, just because it's going to come in real weird for him, and it's going to trip him up a little bit. Hopefully, he's on now. I don't think he is. So actually, I might save him for last. So let me go past him. I'll reintroduce him again. I'm gonna go to this next brother. Oh wait, he popped in just now. All right, let me get to him.
Let's go.
I'm talking about a brother who man, every time I do a Throw Your Sets Up Saturday, every time I do a Figgy Friday, he's right there showing off his collection, and his collection is incredible, like all of you gentlemen. But I've seen some of the stuff. He's taken me on a room tour of his, and oh my God, I could just spend hours in this guy's room. But let me bring him in. I'm talking about my brother, Mr. Anthropic 666 Warren. And there he is.
There he is.
Station.
I love his name. Internet sucks.
By Jove, the interweb sucks. Warren, man. Oh wait, let me bring in his other feed. He's got two feeds going here.
No,
Station, my brother.
what it is that every time anyone else has signed in, it's signed me up. Station people. What I'm saying is, let's say we all go in. We all good this smashing Sunday. We all rocking and rolling.
All good.
Absolutely, my brother. I was just telling everybody.
Smashes up again, like, and it don't work.
I was just telling everybody about your amazing collection and about how we've been friends for quite some time. Just tell everybody where you're from.
Fucking stereo, man. It's an obsession. I'm an archive. It's like every single one of us. Wales, UK, shouting out the Wales massive. Pontypool massive at the moment. Childhood UK comic fan where the shelves were full of, and they.
We'll give him a sec. If it doesn't pop in, we'll just go to the next.
I think he lives in Bristol. Isn't that right?
I thought he was Wales, South Wales.
This is horseshit. If you can hear me, comic fan since a small kid. Dropped off the scene for about 20 plus years. Came back into it the last 5 years. Regained a collection that I'd lost 25 years ago, and then some. because I've gone down the British comic rabbit hole of everything we've ever had printed since the 1800s, arse end of the 1800s, and been obsessed with it. Been obsessed with it. And when you look at some of the numbers and some of the runs, they go on for years. Like I just got into Hornet. It went for 28 years, every week for 28 years.
Wow. Once a
So
week.
I've got a fair catalogue of stuff to plow through, and I'm plowing through it as best I can.
Mr. Anthropic.
Once a week, and this is where, like I said, there's a standard set by a UK British comic, or we were going to label it today.
Mr.
Pardon?
Anthropic, ever since Fable turned me on to you, I've been seeing the things you post up, and you got a lot of crazy shit. And let me tell you, you got a lot of crazy shit.
He does. He does. I don't know if he heard us. But yeah, let me move on. Warren, I don't know if you're hearing us, but thank you for joining us, my brother. We're gonna try to get through, your stuff as much as we can with your internet problems, but that's how it is. It's not a Blame Fable show if we don't have any internet hiccups or mess ups and stuff like that. But yeah, let me bring in this next gentleman. Now this gentleman is also such a great supporter and somebody who I think has one of the biggest 2000 AD collections I've ever seen. I mean, this guy, I do Throw Your Sets Up Saturday. He does Throw Your Sets Up every freaking day.
Is that his hashtag?
And he's the Ireland portion of our UK Ireland massive special, man. So I'm so happy to have him on the show. I'm talking none other than Coco F Star Collects.
Nice go, people. Really, really delighted to be here.
Yeah.
Still alive after my COVID.
Oh yeah, man. Poor guy got sick.
Yeah.
Everybody give it up for Coco, man. Powering through today's show, man. Thank you for joining us. Coco, where in Ireland are you from, my brother?
So I'm from Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is technically still a part of the UK. I'm from a place called Achalee, which is a small village. It's about 20 miles south of Belfast. So Belfast's Northern Ireland's biggest city. So I'm pretty close to comic shops and nightlife, and yeah, I live in the countryside, so I get the perks of both ends, and yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
well, thank you for joining us, my brother. You, like I said, your collection is insane. If you guys aren't following any of these guys, my brother Mark, Mark's Marvelous, Banjo, Dimension Slip, Warren, Coco Star. I mean, go follow these guys. I'm gonna try to have their links and descriptions down below after the show, man. But yeah, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this afternoon. I really appreciate it. I was really hoping I can get you guys on, and we did it, man. We're here.
Yeah.
Don't everybody shout at once.
There's no response, but yeah.
Are we all lost without Warren here?
I know.
Yeah, he's gonna be popping in and out, man. Poor guy. I feel bad for him. I know he's pissed off right now. He wanted to really be on the show. He's been promoting it all week on his page. I know he was really excited about it. So I hate it when the internet prevents you from doing one of these things.
He's actually just commented. He said apologies for tech issues.
Yeah, no worries. Warren, we love you. Whenever you pop in, I'll pop you back in. If we could get some words out of you, even better. But before we get started, gentlemen, because like I said, I wanted to get into your whole comic collecting, how you started, what are you collecting, stuff like that. Of course, we do a thing called the blaming on this show. So stay tuned for the end where these guys are going to show off some of their collection. But before we get into all that, I just wanted to say hello to our amazing friends in the chat, man. So many people came in to say what up to us. So I just wanted to say what's up back, man. First up, we got our brother Rogue Collecting in the building saying, Station, hope everyone is having a great weekend. Station Rogue, how are you, man? Next up, we got my brother John Comics with Kids in the building. Station said, I'm getting a nice hot cup for the show. We got our sister Christina Payne in the building. Station, how are you, Christina? Hope you're doing well. We got my brother, my Throw Your Sets Up Saturday partner, Mike Hag 77 in the building. Saying Station, good John, good show yesterday. Christina, always good to see you. Absolutely, always good to see all of you guys, man. Thanks for joining us. Let's see, we got my brother, PCP Army Bad Batch brother, 9-panel grid in the house. Eric Station, how are you? Everybody go check out 9-panel grid. And if you guys are doing the CBC awards, the comic book community awards, please consider my brother 9-panel grid for a new channel, man. He just started his channel this year and he's been doing great. Epic stuff. Yeah, he is awesome. Great review of comics. Sub up to 9-panel grid and consider him for a CBC award, man. Let's see. We got our brother, Two Gun Pedro, in the building. Pew pew. Station, Two Gun. How are you, my brother? I hope you are doing well. Also, another person that I would suggest people vote for supporter. Because Two Gun, man, he supports everybody. He's always in everybody's chats.
Yeah.
And we appreciate him very much around here. So, hell yeah. Thanks for joining us, Two Gun. Next up, we got my brother, Mel Stay Up, in the building. Station, Mel. How are you, man? Hope you're doing well. Let me see who else we got in the house. Going down. Oh, we got my PCP Bad Batch brother, Stu, Dr. Doom's fan club, in the house. Station. How are you, Stu? Of course, Stu will be joining me as my co-host on the next show, so definitely look out for Stu. Love him so much. Let's see who else we got in the house. Everybody saying what up to each other. Hey, we got my other co-host, PCP Army Bad Batch brother, Nick, Comic Culture, in the building. Station. Another guy that I say, please look out for if you're doing CBC awards for best ongoing review show, man. This guy, he's amazing, and he has grown so much in popularity. I'm scared that one day he's gonna leave me. He's gonna get so popular, he's gonna go. Thanks, Nick, for joining us, my brother. We got Big Herm Collectibles in the building. Station, Big Herm. Oh yeah. I like to tell everybody to have a bloody great station. And Nick said, brother, we're going to need to see a birth certificate. Absolutely. Absolutely. We got my sister, one half of Melanin and Manga, in the building. Inja Binja in the house. Station. Oh, yeah. Thanks for joining us, sis. Everybody go check out Melanin and Manga. And Inja Binja will be joining us for PCP Horror Fest this year. It's a little festival we do of horror movies, reviewing horror movies, and she will be making her debut with us doing those horror shows. So hell yeah. Thank you, Inja Binja, for joining us. So many great people already in the house. Everybody saying what up to each other. Brother Joe's calculating the currency exchange to see if euros are more than dollars.
Hey, always working. Contract's always open.
We got our brother Side Quest Comics in the house. Side Quest. Hey, sure. How are you? Hey guys, good morning and afternoon. Yeah, what is it, like 5 something over there, right?
20 to 6.
20, yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, almost dinner time, man. It's almost dinner time. Let's see. We got Card Stock Variant in the building, saying happy Sunday, Fable and Company. Station Card Stock Variant. How are you, my friend? Thanks for joining us. Oh man, so many great people. Rogue said Asheville is beautiful. I have family there. There you go, Banjo. There you go.
Yes, it is. Finally got some rain.
I'm super close to Asheville, and it is beautiful. Absolutely. That's where I'm planning to move, guys. If you guys don't know, I'm moving soon, and I want to go to North Carolina, man. So I'll be seeing all of you guys soon.
Awesome.
Inja Binja said, I'm super close to Asheville, and it is beautiful. Oh, yeah, I read that already. Charlton 66 in the house. Station. Charlton, how are you, man? Nick said, Banjo, you're not fooling me. I know an English accent when I hear it. Hey, shit. Oh, Charlton said, Great to see all these great folks here. First time joining, seeing the show. Oh, thank you, Charlton. Thanks for hanging out, man. This is a good one to start watching, man. Like I said, I got all my UK buddies here, and we're going to get into their stories pretty soon. Let's see who else we got in the house. Everybody saying what up? Hey, my brother, Chop and Drop 2013 in the house.
Oh, Chop and Drop.
Chop, how are you, my brother? Warren saying, my apologies for the tech issues. Do not worry, my brother. Like I said, we're going to pop you in just like I'm popping in right now. And technology sucks sometimes. You said it. You said it.
Oh, we lie.
Yeah, we're live, my brother. Comic Culture said, not to mention Blame Fable for community builder. Station. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Hey, we got Big Steve, Hip Hops and Needs. Station, Big Fable in the panel. What is up, chat? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We got our brother Sal in the building. Station, Sal, how are you? Oh yeah, so many good people already joining us. Everybody saying hi. We got our brother Bobby Della Ghetto in the building. Station Bobo, PCP
Big
Army
Bobby,
Badass brother.
Big Bobby.
Oh yeah, Station with the UK flag. Absolutely, my brother. We got my other brother, Blood Splatter Chatter in the building. Verno Station. Oh yeah, Station all busy boy today, but great to see you live, brother. Absolutely.
Is that Verno?
That's Verno.
He scares me.
He scares you.
He scares me.
All right, gentlemen. So basically, I just wanted to use this show as a way to introduce all of you to all of my friends in America, all of my American CBC family. Of course, I'm pretty sure out of all the names I've mentioned, you've probably saw them on Instagram. You're probably friends with a lot of these people already, but they've never gotten a chance to see you or, hear your stories. So I just prepared a couple of questions here that I wanted to get into with you guys, and we can go round table and talk about your experiences in comic books and pop culture. Brother Joe, are you sticking around before I get started?
Gentlemen, usually I dip out as soon as possible, but this is such a special show. I just want to sit here in the corner like always, and if I do want to say something, I'll raise my hand. Please acknowledge me.
Hey, Felicia's in the house. How are you, my girl? She said it's good to put faces to the collection.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
That's another reason we're doing this, man. So basically, I want to start off with your origin story, right? Just like the comic books we read, there's origin stories in these comics, and we all have our own personal origin stories. Something that I always tell people about me is that when I started collecting comic books, it was because I was in my grandmother's house, and she had a coffee table. And on that coffee table, there's usually like magazines and like TV Guide. I don't know if you guys know what TV Guide is. Just basically a magazine that tells you what's going to come on the television. But in that pile, there were 2 issues of comic books. Uncanny X-Men 212 and 213. And if you know anything about Uncanny X-Men 212 and 213, that is when Wolverine fights Sabretooth for the first time. And on the cover of 212, you see Wolverine all bloodied up and cut up. And I had known about Wolverine prior to that, but I'd never seen him look like that, right? It was really graphic. So that caught my attention immediately. And ever since then, I was hooked, not only on comic books, but the X-Men in particular. So I'm pretty sure all of you guys have an origin story like this. So I want to get started. My brother, That Geek Mark, what is your origin story, man?
My parents have got so I sort of read a few comics, and then I started collecting at 14. But my parents got a caravan down the coast near Bognor Regis. It's one of those static ones, and we go down there. My parents have had it for like 30 years, not the same one, but in the same place. We go down there a lot, and there's like a newsagents down there, and my dad used to go and buy a lot of. They do over here. They get American comics and they reprint them in news agencies, normally like a year or two after they've come out. And my dad used to buy a lot of reprints of Superman. So I quite liked reading them. My dad would just go down there, and my dad wasn't, because my dad's in his 70s now. When he used to buy them, I was obviously somewhere between 10 and 14. So I had a bit of an interest reading them, but he wouldn't care if he would buy them 1 week and then not buy them for another 3 or 4 months. So I was only introduced to them on sporadic issues. But my parents were huge comic book fans when they were kids. So my mum and dad separately bought Supermans and Lois Lanes and Green Lanterns, and my grandparents threw them all away.
I was just about to say, and they didn't give them to you.
No, my grandparents just threw them all away. So they don't. We don't have them, unfortunately. But so they had that interest. So my dad, growing up, had that interest, and I grew up in a household that wasn't a sports household. It was my parents used to grow up and watch things like Lost in Space and Land of the Giants and all that kind of thing. And so it was much more of a pop culture sci-fi household. I think those things left me open to it, I guess. Anyway, 14 years old, I was in GCSE art class. I did art for GCSEs, and I remember sitting next to this boy called Liam. And whilst I was aware of things like Spider-Man and the X-Men from the animated series,
Space 1999, a future.
I didn't watch that one. I loved Lost in Space. On the Time Tunnel as well. I used to love all of that.
Yeah, Time Tunnel.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was 14 years old. Anyway, I remember getting given some project about fantasy or something or other, and this boy sitting next to me says, want to go to I'm going to go to my comic book shop at the weekend. And I went, comic book shop? Didn't even know that was a thing. Didn't even know comic book shops existed. And so I went along with him. And just suddenly got exposed to comics. And so he was telling me all week before we went on the Saturday the kind of storylines that were going on. So at the time, the Clone Saga was quite massive, and so it really piqued my interest that the Spider-Man that I'd seen on the TV was apparently a clone. And I was like, this sounds absolutely nuts. I was like, what? You're telling me the Peter Parker that I've been aware of since I was a little kid is not actually the real Spider-Man? I was just like, this sounds insane. So I had to go to this comic book shop and find out more about it. And so I got some bits later when you do the show, but show and tell bit. But yeah, so I got introduced around the time, there was the Onslaught saga was going on. So the DC versus Marvel miniseries was going on as well. The Clone Saga. I think there was the 2099 comics was still in the shops, and so the comic book shop I went to was Universal Comics in Staines, which you guys may not know where it is, but it's near Heathrow Airport, not too far from there. So that was kind of how I got introduced to it, and then I stayed with comics for most of the time until about the early 20s. I dipped out a little bit then, only for a couple of years, and then I came back into comics again. And but yeah, that was it. I used to pick up some reprints and other bits and pieces, and I know, look, as a much younger kid, obviously I picked up things like Dandy and Beano and that kind of stuff, but I didn't really love them that much. This UK comic stuff never really appealed to me. It was just American comics that appealed to me. So
yeah, absolutely. That's interesting, man. You're primarily Marvel comics, right? Like or DC, or just American comics in general?
American comics, mainly Marvel. I do buy Batman and Superman and Nightwing, actually. But yeah, mainly Marvel comics. I think that's probably it. I do buy independent stuff here and there if I see something I quite like. I did actually the other day pick up all of Void Rivals the other day because talking about the Energon universe. So I thought I'd start reading some of that stuff. But yeah, mainly Marvel, if I'm honest. And but there are some independents in there which I've got and I can show off. So
absolutely. So that's awesome. So the Clone Saga is your entryway into comic books.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Dimension Slip, my brother. What is your comic book origin story, man?
Go because I'm like mega old, and I know I don't look it.
I think I might beat you on that one.
But it's natural. I don't dye my hair. It's just a bleached beard. Early comics were very war-driven and action-driven, and occasionally you'd see a reprint of a Marvel comic, a 60s Marvel comic. And then in the early 70s, due to release, it was called The Mighty World of Marvel, and they were reprints of Amazing Spider-Man, Hulk, Fantastic Four. The cover was colour, but the insides were sort of black and white, red, green, just the primary colours. But that really got my interest, and I wanted more. And then more or less within a month or so, they released Spider-Man Comics Weekly. So these comics were coming out weekly, and it wasn't a full story. And then I wanted to find, I wanted the American, the proper comics. But there weren't any local comic shops. So you'd go to the store, the news agents, and occasionally you'd have a stack, and they'd be on the end of the counter, and there'd be some Marvel, there'd be some DC. But you'd have to get there early because there were other kids that were taking them as well. But you would never be able to get a full story or a full run. So sometimes you would get let's say it'd be a Marvel team up, and you want to know what's going to happen the next month, and it's not there. And that was kind of my introduction to Marvel and DC. But the love was through the English reprints. Unfortunately, when I did leave home, my entire collection of Spider-Man and Mighty World of Marvel and Planet of the Apes and Dracula Lives and the Titans and all these English reprints, my mother got rid of them. She didn't oh yeah. So when I got into there was local comic shops that were starting to operate near my hometown. I started to place regular orders, but some of the early Marvel and DC comics that I got, to help fund it, I would trade them in because I didn't have any money. I was a student, and it's like, well, if I trade these in, I can buy newer issues. So the first issues then I was getting, it was like Secret Wars, and I think I got ASM 238, I think it was, or 236. So I kind of just got that before it took off with the black suit. So I was
perfect timing
on that curve then, yeah. And there was, I was just amazed at this wall of comics in the local comic book store. I wanted to have them all, but you just spend hours just sitting there and going through and reading them and then putting them back and finding the ones that you want. So that was my early introduction, and now I'm more settled and older and have a few more dollars. I'm now to plug all those gaps. Unfortunately, I'm not going after the old English reprints. Though I've got a couple here and there, but and another one, and I'll show it in a while, was the Marvel Treasury editions, because those, and I think I managed to get a couple of those before we had some Marvel or DC comics. So to suddenly see them in full color, I'd only been used to seeing them in black and white. It was like, oh my God, I just want everything.
Wow.
For a limited budget.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. That's interesting that you got, like, your first introduction was not really like colored comic books. It was black and white or primary colors, like you said. And it's also interesting and proof positive, I guess, that you don't always have to start at number one, right? Like you just start wherever, and because you started wherever, if it's good enough, it'll get you to track down the rest of it. So hell yeah, that's awesome, Gord. But Banjo, my brother, what is your comic book origin story, my brother?
Basically, I grew up, my dad and my mom read all the time, and my dad had stacks of Creepy and Airy.
Yeah.
So 5, 6, I was reading Creepy and Eerie, the
That's
black and white, going down that direction. So it's like, and then 3rd grade, a bunch of kids were passing around comics. I just saw the cover of X-Men 102, Colossus battling Juggernaut, and was hooked on X-Men. But that was one of the few superhero titles I actually collected. I've always been horror and sci-fi, and then 82, 83, Eagle Comics Judge Dredd came out, and I just dove deep into British comics and all the artists and have never looked back. And that. So like, I think it was right after I joined the Army, 87, I discovered a comic shop up in DC that had 2000 AD progs, and I'd buy them by the stacks, and like no one would buy them, so I go in there and just buy whole boxes and just loved it. And like the black and white just kind of took me back to those old eerie and creepies. I've been a huge fan, so
that's awesome, dude. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't have parents that were into any of this stuff, so I'm so jealous of you and Mark talking about your parents being into all this cool stuff. That must have been incredible. But yeah, that's awesome that's your first entry, that it's not the superhero, because I think for a lot of us, I think it's superheroes. So it's cool to see somebody coming in on something a little different. That's great, my brother. But Mark,
in the beginning.
Oh yeah. Oh, the war comics?
No, I said it kind of warped me from the beginning, just the horror and all that. It's like just couldn't quite get into the like. Never been a fan of Avengers. No offense, Stephen.
No, absolutely. That's awesome, dude. I love horror comics. As my friends all know, I get into all of them as much as I can. But Mark, Marvelous Comics, my brother. I think it's all in the name, man. What's your origin story, my brother?
My story is much the same as Gord's. Mine started back in the early 70s with UK comics, Spider-Man Weekly, Marvel Weekly, Conan, all the others that came out at the time. How we got started, I got bitten by the bug early on. It was at school, all these kids were running around in this paper mask. They had this paper mask. And I just remember wanting one of those and where it came from. And obviously trying to get hold of one of those was impossible because they'd all sold out. The paper mask just deteriorated anyway, but I never got one, but I have one now.
Yeah, there you go.
I got it in the end. It's like gold dust that.
And it was just a paper bag.
Yeah, it is. That is a paper bag. It is a paper bag. That's in good condition, but that's hard to get hold of nowadays. So yeah, that's my pride and joy. I always swore that I'd get one, and I did. Anyway, and then from then on, just like Gord, go to the newsagents and then see these US comics. Very different to the UK comics. Very small, all in color, and I just thought, oh my God, there's these as well, and all these other superheroes. And again, everybody picked the favorite comics, so it's hard to get a full set. But I just used to go in there and just pick. There were 10p at the time. I just used to pick the whole run, and that got a good mixture of all the other superheroes. And then branched out to other comics, action. We had Action Bullet. It's just been very varied. Carried on collecting. Had a break. Obviously had kids, married. I stopped collecting. Didn't have any time for collecting. Got back into it in the McFarlane era.
Nice.
Dipped out again, and then got back in the last, I'd say, 10 years. Got back into it again, and obviously it's changed a lot over the years. You've got all the variants, the Virgin variants, which I've got a good collection of now.
Yeah.
So the main character that I grew up with that started me off was Spider-Man, and that's my go-to superhero.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the paper bags, because a lot of us introduction to this world of comics was not actually through comics, right? Like when I saw Spider-Man for the first time, it was a cartoon show called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, which of course I stole from years and years later. But that's how I knew of Spider-Man and most of the Marvel heroes, and Batman from the Batman 1966 television show.
Yeah, true.
That's how I got introduced to him. So when you finally get into the comics, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, what the hell is this? This is amazing. There's a whole nother world over here. So yeah, that's good to hear about the paper bags, man. But let me go to Warren, because Warren's been steady there, and I don't want him to drop out anytime soon. Warren, my brother, if you can hear me, what is your comic book origin story? I think he's gone already. Damn it. All right, Warren, we'll get back to you in a second, my brother. We'll get back to you.
Man. I think
there you go.
A lag going on, but other than that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, my brother. Let us know.
I was a precocious kid reader. No, I don't think there's a lag. There's a bit of a lag going on with it.
Go ahead, my friend.
Oh. Well, go to Coco then, and I'll dial back in.
All right, I'll go to Coco. Coco, my brother, what is your comic book origin story?
So basically, I grew up in a household with two older brothers who were in the.
See, look, it'll come through in a second. See, that's what I'm saying. See, put a Shaolin music in there. Start. One of you want to act like they're possessed.
Gotta count the delay. I think it's like 10 seconds. Wow, it's more than 10 seconds.
5 hours.
See, I feel like it's watching that film. Was it Inception or?
On it.
Yeah.
You're like I'm talking over Coco though. Just move your mouth now, Coco. Do it.
Well,
yeah, go.
Sorry.
Damn, more than 10 seconds.
Yep. So.
Yeah. Fucking 10 minutes later. What's what I'm saying? Shaolin.
Go for it, go for it. Just dive in.
Sorry.
Yo, so without Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, I should have bought some drinks for this. Do you know what? We should have thought ahead. We could have done something like we drank shots every time he speaks or something.
Yeah, go. I'll shut up.
I'm good to go now?
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Yeah, so I started collecting. Basically, I was born into a house with two older brothers, boxes full of comics everywhere. So I instantly had a collection. You know, they were in the army stuff and military, this and that, toy soldiers. The troubles were going on in Northern Ireland when I was a kid. So the army were on the streets, were walking around with machine guns, and my brothers were mad about all these post-World War II comics, British comics, and with a lot of horror stuff and 2000 AD in the house. As I got a bit older, I started to develop my interest in the like metal music and stuff like that. So I got more into 2000 AD and was reading that and a lot of horror stuff, and then I was in all the music and the punk scene, and my interests. I honestly, I've been interested in so many things. I just got into basically every type of comic there is. So
yeah, it shows.
2000 AD is probably my favorite.
I've seen your page. Yeah.
We did have some American comics when I was a kid, but very few. It wasn't probably what Mark said there about around the 90s when the McFarlane era sort of was hitting a big an image, and that's when I really started to get into the American comics then, and realized that those people in England who I could buy stuff, no mail order. So you used to have to contact someone in England and they'd send you a wee catalogue. You'd pick out the books you want in the catalogue and then send them a letter in the hope that in the meantime someone else hasn't sent them a letter. And you had to send no money in the post, and collecting back then was difficult. But yeah, thank God for the internet.
Oh yeah.
Warren wouldn't agree with that right now, but
I don't think anyone agreed with that yesterday.
no. Yeah, well, I've been out of action for a couple of days now. I had COVID, so thank God I missed the catastrophe that was Friday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so nervous you were going to be on the show. You hit me up on Thursday, like, man, I got COVID. I'm like, no.
I'll tell you, I felt a bit rough today, but I'm here. Yeah, I'm definitely on the mend. Like, definitely on the mend.
Oh yeah. So, damn, that's interesting. You. Well, first, your brothers already had comics. What kind of comics?
Yep.
You said that they had like war comics, war and
So it's
horror.
sort of
comics?
like, yeah, these little work like commandos and stuff, and then we had the boys all the English boys will know this. With these annuals we used to get at Christmas, like Warlord and Victor and the Dandy and the Beano and stuff, Battle,
Wow.
and there's another one, Victor. Remembers that one?
Yeah.
And that's Desperate Dan from the Dandy.
The Dandy.
So I had a lot of these when I was a kid, and a lot of my used to go to jumble sales and things. There wasn't that many shops around that would have sold comic books. Some newsagents had stuff, but not always a great range. And then it's just, occasionally you would meet someone who had a connection somewhere, or would have a wee box of books, or an older brother who had some, and they'd hand them down to us, and I had just boxes of everything. And then we got into collecting Star Wars toys, because I was born in 77, so I was born in the shadow at 2000 AD, and Star Wars and all those things were all happening.
Beautiful.
My brothers were probably around the same age as Mark, and that's probably they were collecting the stuff that Mark said he picked up in the newsagents, and then leaving it behind. So whenever I got to that age, they were still lying around my house. So yeah,
that's amazing.
My interests are my experiences. With like Spider-Man, and it was the same as those guys. Part stories here and there. Loved getting them when we could get them, but getting them was the problem, So that's basically why I stuck a lot with 2000 AD until we got a bit older and all these things become available to us,
Oh yeah. So are your brothers still collecting?
No, one of my brothers is died now, but my other brother is one of the guys all into the military stuff. He collects military miniatures. Been collecting them for like over 40 years now. Crazy collection. You think I have a lot of books? He's got a lot of toys.
So I'm assuming you took a lot of their books.
All of them, yeah. They like reading them, but they had no interest in collecting them. They had their own interests in other things, so they liked looking at them. But then whereas I like looking at them and keeping them to look at them again.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, dude. Hell yeah, that's a great origin story. Interesting. I didn't know it was that difficult to get comics over there at that time.
There was a lot of
now.
Yeah, it's still difficult now. Yeah, I would have said there was a period in the 90s where a lot of stuff become available that was never available before.
Yeah.
And then probably as I got a bit older and realised that there were shops in the cities in Belfast and stuff that did get stuff and had stuff, but you just had to go looking for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know if you remember when Dreamwave got the Transformers license, they weren't allowed to sell it in the UK. So they had to import it in. You had to pay more money for the Dreamwave Transformers comics. I don't know if you guys remember that. And that's even not even that long ago.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you guys had like a nasties kind of list, right? Like something where certain things just couldn't be sold over there for whatever reason.
That was to do with licensing issues where somebody still had the Transformers license or something in the UK.
Okay.
There's always obstacles.
Yeah.
Well, man, it doesn't matter what obstacles there are. Coco is proof positive that if you love something, you'll find a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
By hook or by crook.
But let's see if we can get our brother, Warren. Warren, if you can hear me, I'll give you 10 seconds to answer. What is your comic book origin story, my brother?
Do I start speaking now and it'll come in now in a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start speaking now while you were finishing talking. Here we go. Echo, echo.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Basically, a precocious reader, read voraciously. Was a kid of my grandparents, and they were basically buying me comics. Yeah, buying me comics because they kept me quiet. Started pretty much like Kobo, Commando, Battle Action, primarily because the British comic scene at the time was very little science fiction stuff other than like Dan Day. It was just a normal guy flying around in space. So they want a lot of superpower type of people. So my nan's sisters were GI brides, and her kids, her sister's kids had visits back and forth America. So they had Silver Surfer comics, which I encountered when I was about 8 or 9. They were like, what the fuck? It just blew my mind. Couldn't understand what it was, didn't know where it was coming from. Because he was this guy flying around in space.
Is that it?
He's frozen mid-smoke. He's
So from there, didn't really get into American comics, so they were rarities like Coco and all of that, other than like Marvel UK reprints. And carried on primarily with 2018 action. Yeah, that's what it is, mid-book. So then there was a place called Newport Market where there was a guy called John, and he used to buy bundles of comics from all over the world. So I got into heavy metal, Italian comics that have been translated, reprints, so Torpedo, Barbarella, things like that. All the metal characters, Den, Raggedy Al, Druyé, all that weird hippie art of the 70s. And that was where I went down now, primarily, like I said, UK with European stuff, because they seem to be more noir stories. The horror was a bit grittier. Dylan Dog.
That's awesome, dude. I'm
dropped off.
I love that your introduction.
Now I come back into it.
Comics.
Got my collection back when I was younger. Said then some, and now I'm into anything basically. I'm trying to get an example of everything as an archive.
Yeah, he's hearing me now. But yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's awesome that your introduction to American comics was Silver Surfer, man. Silver Surfer is one of my favorite cosmic Marvel characters. So yeah, I get it, man. I know where you get your love from.
Echo. Get Guerrilla Radio.
I want to say Warren's Instagram shows are very strangely interesting. They're strange but interesting. I'm telling you, Warren, those Instagram shows you do.
And this is a room. This is sat in a room with two guys in the 70s, and they're obviously on the old Devil's Lettuce, smoking the old bongos, and I'm sat there as a kid sucking up all this secondary smoke. So.
Let's give him about 2 more seconds.
Honestly, this is like Inception.
Strange days have found us. Yeah, definitely, Joe. There's always something strange going on in my world. Go.
You just got Brother Joe's message now. Well, hopefully
it's the Great Escape. That's what it is.
Hopefully you get my message soon. That's an awesome origin story, brother. You have a fantastic collection, an eclectic collection. I can't believe that this guy reads, this one thing, and then he collects Transformers, which is like, how does that work? And he calls me his pimp. He calls me his Transformer pimp. He's always telling me I'm pimping Transformers to him. But yeah, he has an amazing collection. But yeah, guys, let's move on. Damn, I can't believe an hour and 10 minutes has passed.
Yeah, you ought to believe for that. You being pimping Transformers. Well, I sat on the back. I was going to tell people about that. I'd come through there like a phantom, right, and tell people when I sat in the backstage, there was all these pictures of Fables going, buy Transformers, buy Transformers, buy Transformers.
But yeah, man, I can't believe we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes. I had all these questions, but I don't think we're going to be able to get to all of these questions. So I guess I'll condense some of it. Let me see. You guys kind of answered what are some of the things you've collected, so we can gloss over that.
Sorry for the technical issue.
No, it's okay. What would you say? Okay, I would ask, what is your absolute favorite thing to collect? Your number one. I know it's hard to choose. There's so much great stuff, but what is one character, maybe a writer, maybe an artist, that you just have to have everything that they do? You know what I mean? Me personally, of course, I'm gonna go with anything that's Transformers related, right? Obviously. And now that Energon's around, I'm eating that stuff up. Like Mark said, he's into Void Rivals. He's reading all the Energon stuff. That's me right now. If I had to stop collecting, I would probably still pick up Energon stuff, even if I had to stop. So, Mark, what is the absolute number one thing that you go after, whether it be an artist, a comic book character, a writer? What's your number one, man?
I am behind, so I can't comment on the recent stuff. But Spider-Man is the character that really piqued my interest and read everything. I've clearly got some huge holes, but I try to every now and again, where there's spare money, try and fill some of those holes or whatever. But absolutely, if I'm honest, currently loving the Ultimate Spider-Man, the new one that's come out. I think that relates to me quite well, if I'm honest. Spider-Man in his 40s with kids. That was a me in my 40s with kids, so it's cool. But no, Spider-Man is the one character. There was a period of time when you talk about writers. There's a lot of writers I'm interested in, but there was a period of time where I would read anything that Bendis wrote. I loved a lot of the stuff that he wrote. New Avengers, Jessica Jones. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, Spider-Man's a good one, man. Spider-Man's a great one. Universal character. Probably as famous as Mickey Mouse and Superman, man. Mm-hmm. He's right up there. Gord, man, what's your absolute number one go-to, my brother?
I'll give you a clue.
Yeah.
It's always been Spider-Man. And I just with that.
Oh, wow.
I've got that as well, and that for me that sent me down that path of love, because this is from '74, and that's when I was starting to get into it. But what I've managed to do, I've got from volume 1 ASM, I'm 100 through to 441, so that's the whole of volume 1, and now I'm trying to work my way and plug back those spots. So I'm from about 70 through to 100. I've got about 10 issues of those. I know it's going to be out of my price range. I bought, let me show you this. I think I posted this before. It's a Pens copy, Pens banger.
Wow.
That's ASM 50. And I got that for 10p, which is about 10 cents. Because he said it wasn't in a good condition. It's about a 4, maybe a 5. But that was my prized possession. And then I managed to get a ASM 39.
Oh wow!
He's starting the blaming early, guys. He's starting the blaming early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come back on that. But what has also got my interest was the Avengers. And again, I'm
There
from
was some
about
fucking 10.
volume 1 from 100
You love
through
it. It's a
to
fucking
402.
10.
So I've got 103 to 402, and then I've just been able to get a few around the 70s, the 60s, 70s. But I've started getting Marvel Triple Action and Marvel Super Action did the reprints. And I've got a massive batch delivery coming this week to complete those runs for the early Avengers.
Save some for Throw Your Sets Up Saturday, brother. Save some for the...
Yeah. So, that's a shout out to Silver Acre Comics in Chester.
Oh yeah.
If anyone knows those, they're
I do. Yeah.
Mom would love this. Cheers, Jets. Jedi, what up? Hell yeah, Spider-Man, man. I'm telling you. But Banjo, Rob, what's your number one go-to these days, man?
2000 AD. I'm trying to get from 1 up to right now around 500. That's what I'm trying to work on.
Hell yeah. That's like your absolute. Anytime you see it, you try to get it.
Yeah, because I've only found like maybe six in the wild since I got back into collecting. So I usually just depend on Steven. He's my go-to right now.
Steven, yeah, he's everybody's go-to.
We got a little trade we're working on. It's going to come up soon. It's going to be good, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of like I grab them up as I go as the prices fluctuate. Because some of the things I really want, I'm just not up to paying some of these crazy FOMO prices. So I just put it in the back burner. And then a couple years later, pick it up. But right now, Judge Dredd, I'm trying to read and collect them all.
That's awesome, dude. Oh yeah. I didn't know they were really expensive like that. It's pricey.
Yeah, they can be over here. Like, I mean, I have to go on eBay a lot to find certain ones. It's crazy. So. Yeah,
no, absolutely. That's awesome, dude. Mark's Marvelous. What's your go-to?
Yeah. Obviously, it's Spider-Man. I'd say early Ditko era is one that obviously I'm after the number one. Final Fantasy would be out my league, I think, but I could possibly go for the ASM one. At some point. The other one is I'm after. I've been a huge fan of the original Captain Britain ever since.
Nice.
He was our captain, of course. You had Captain America. We had Captain Britain. I am after 9/8. So I've got 9/6 so far. That's the first one. 9/8 in number 2.
Wow.
And of course, our very own number 8. The first appearance of Psylocke.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I need a 9/8 in that. So yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, I'm
I love Alan Davis. So
9/8s in the whole run. That's what I want.
Nice.
I'm not far off. I've got quite a few 9/8s.
Anything modern you're collecting? Anything?
Yeah. Obviously variants. If I like a variant, if I like the cover, I'll go for it, and I'll get the Virgin variant too. So I'll get both.
Oh yeah.
I'm a bit picky and choosy because there's a lot of them about. But yeah.
Joe, you had something to say?
I have a question, gentlemen. You talked about your comic shops. Do you have Comic Cons in your country like we do here? Are they major? Are they small? Or do you have any Comic Cons at all?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I haven't been to one for years, but yeah, they're big and small.
What would you say is the biggest?
Not big like the Orange States.
Oh yeah. Not as big as the American ones.
No.
Said London. London's the biggest one over there.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, because that's over 2 days.
They have them in like Birmingham and there's the one
Manchester is one,
Newcastle.
Liverpool.
What's the one that they do once a year where it's up north?
There's a lot of small ones, aren't there?
There's what I forgot the name of it. There's one that's up north, which a lot of the creators tend to go to. I forgot the name of it though.
Thank you for the answer. Thank you.
What, like Thought Bubble or something like that?
Yeah, Thought Bubble. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the Thought Bubble.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
is that in Harrogate? I think that's in Harrogate. It's either
No,
in
it's
Harrogate
not
or
in
Leeds.
North.
It's in my neck of the woods.
Lawless.
Yeah, I've never been to.
You're on
Thought
about
Bubble,
Lawless.
That a Comic Con?
Thought Bubble is like, it's a Comic Con.
Yeah.
It tends to be more literally comic creators, writers, illustrators. It seems to have a lot more brand recognition. A lot of creators seem to go to that. There is other ones throughout the year in London, Birmingham, and
Yeah,
Chester, but
it's the sort of Comic Con with a lot of creators. The other
Yeah.
one's Thought Bubble.
American creators? Do American creators come over, or are they just eating with
It's Comic Con in Cardiff.
yeah, both, yeah, American and a lot
Yeah.
of them, they'll come over. Yeah,
Interesting.
Oh yeah, Brother Joe loves Comic Cons, man. He gets as many as he can over there in Kansas City. A lot of creators from Kansas City, which I was just brought privy to. But Coco, what's your
Back in the
go-to, my brother?
70s, they used to have one in the train shed, and there were people like Jack Kirby and all them people coming over from America back in the 70s.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Coco, what's your go-to these
And
days?
I was
man?
held in a train shed.
Go for it,
So
Coco.
my go-to is 2000 AD, obviously.
Yeah.
From 2000 AD, and what else? At the minute, I'm really loving DC horror stuff. Honestly, guys, cannot get enough of it. I love the nice, sweet, short stories and the mix of artists in each book. You know, Marvel had their own equivalents as well, and I've been through my Marvel stage ban, all that stuff. So it's just DC's flavor of the month right now for that. I'm always collecting bits and bobs or runs. But if I had to stay with one thing I had to stay with, and nothing else, it would have to be 2000 AD. Judge Dredd.
2000.
Yeah.
They're past past 1,000, right? It's like an action.
Oh yeah, like 2000. That issue I showed you there a second ago is 2,300. So,
damn.
Yeah, it's been going it come out a couple of weeks after I was born, first issue, and it's been going ever since. So, yeah. And there's been a lot of talent that's went through that unbelievable talent. Like he's Alan Moore and Brian Bolland, guys, they all started off 2000 AD.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish we had more time, man, so we could get into all of that stuff more. But time is not on our side. And my brother Warren, what's your go-to these days? Let's give him a few seconds. There we go.
Right, I'll start talking or I'll start throwing shit off, yeah? Here we go. Right,
Yeah.
my go-to is 2000 AD in any format, yeah? I don't care. Do. Yeah? So I'll start throwing shit off while I'm talking. That's a go-to. Another one, Pocket Chiller Libraries.
Oh.
Yeah, these were British artists, Brett Ewins, Ian Gibson, and they were through Thorpe and Porter through the 70s. Dave Gibbons' first work. Alan Willow, Dave Gibbons' first work on the inside. Guy behind Watchmen, kids, doing some shit with zombies.
That's what I'm talking about.
And look, they got the number 80, and the fucking cheeky bastard's done it again with a different title. Sneaky bastard. They did it again a little bit later with an Ian Gibson interior.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
That's
Bit
awesome.
the hell, looking good. And that's my go-to. At the moment, there's about 125 of them. I'm on Star Blazer. Fireball's another one. And he's showing you how to kick people in the shins to get away from if you encounter Jimmy Savile.
That's pretty. Oh,
It's how to escape Jimmy Savile if you bump into him as a 70s kid.
Oh, no American gets that joke. So.
But these Alan Class reprints.
Wow.
Yes.
Because these.
Well, you know what, Warren?
No, you
Hold
didn't like
that thought.
American kids.
Hold that thought, Warren. Hold that thought. Hold
But
that
Alan
thought.
Class is where we're at.
Hold on.
Because
I'm
Alan
gonna
Class put out the Clash product.
I'm gonna make you big.
That's where we're going. Creepy worlds, astounding stories, and all that sort of stuff.
I'm gonna make you big, and we're just gonna kick off the blaming with you.
Yes.
Let's just kick it off. So just show off a couple of more of those for your blaming. Let's give them 10 seconds.
Oh, don't do that. If I'm bigging anybody up. Oh.
We're gonna kick it off with you,
Hang
brother.
on, then.
Let's kick it off. Yeah, man.
No, Fable. No, Fable. No, Fable. Ronald Garcia, Red. That's you, Fable. That's you, Fable.
Oh, look at that.
That's fucking you, Fable. Fable.
Awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Why did
Let's
I want
go.
that?
Let's go.
Hang on. I could hear Fable going, oh man, they look cute as fuck. Because they're little Marvel characters. I'm not a Marvel sort of dude. But I see something that's called Marvel and it looks fucking weird. I'm like, oh, Fable, love that. That's not my thing. Look at that. Naked lady brass bottle opener.
Nice.
Nice.
What's wrong with that? You need a weed to use that.
Yeah, the Disney thing. Yeah.
That's my jam. But if I'm picking
right.
anybody up, it's Raul Garcia. Because he's my. Well, yeah. Raul.
Oh wow.
I blame Garth Ennis and Jason Burrows for him. That's my. Oh, I can't stop buying his stuff.
Crazy shit.
Wow.
These are all OGs.
That's
all
amazing.
original art, all obviously perverse as fuck. Oh yeah, he comes from another level, rather.
Look at that. That is amazing, dude.
It is, and that's my obsession. That's my you can turn that shit off now because it's freaking me out. It's
All
like
right.
Coco stuff because that's where I'm waiting for. Steve, it is. Steve Cave is like, oh, Sassy. Like I said, it's not. But we're playing an envy game, not envy. It's a good sort of envy. Though. It's just it's firing up a thirst and a passion, and like I said, much respect and love to everyone of you. I mean,
hell yeah, brother. Oh, much love, respect to you, Warren. Love you, brother. That was awesome. Let's go to my brother Mark. Mark, what do you got for the blaming?
Hold on. Actually, I'll show you this first. So, and I said I went into the comic shop. This is what was going on at the time. I don't know if anyone remembers this.
Nice. DC Res Marvel. Hell yeah.
So this is all 4 issues of the miniseries. Yeah, I had no idea what was going on. I literally went into this comic book shop, and they were doing polls so you could vote on who would win.
Yeah.
But I was too late. I just missed the cutoff for the polls. So I remember picking up at the sorry. I didn't vote on it at all. I don't know if anyone else here voted. And I grabbed all of the amalgams as well. I'm not going to show all of those off, but this was one of my favorites that came out at the time.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And where is it? And everyone was making a big fuss out of this recently.
Yeah.
That's
the first appearance.
First appearance of A Spider-Boy, yeah. So, but no, I loved all of that stuff that came out back then. Actually, while I've got it here, I don't know if you guys remember at the time as well. Marvel bought Malibu Comics and merged with them briefly. I had no idea what was going on, but my friend who introduced me to comics started shoveling all this Malibu stuff at me, the Ultraverse, and I bought the whole Exiles, and I've got those in a cupboard somewhere. But this one shot I thought was pretty cool. I love the fact that it was Juggernaut leading an X title, which I thought was cool. Anyway, so I talked about Spider-Man. I'll show you the the one that I picked up. So this was one of the first. Oh, shit. This is one of the first Spider-Man comics I picked up.
Oh, nice.
Sorry?
Is that a flip cover?
I don't think so. Hold on.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh no, it's that on the back.
No, just an ad.
It's UK.
But so this is a 3-part series where it was Peter Parker handing the mantle over to Ben Reilly. But this last part is a flip. Hold on. So this cover here is 2-sided.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it
look at that. Okay.
and there's the same here. So,
oh wow. That's awesome.
I don't know if you guys. I remembered this advert the other day. Scarlet Spider joined the New Warriors. I never bought it, but I thought that was cool. So, I'm one of the few people that liked the Scarlet Spider. Not many people did.
Yeah, I did.
And then these are some of the early Spider-Man ones I've got. The oldest Spider-Man comic I have is this one here, issue 65.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I picked this up for £1.
Man.
And that was recent as well. They didn't know what they had, so kept my mouth shut. I knew what they had, so that was, and then I remember I started when I was 14 for a few years, and then the comic book shop that I bought from in Staines shut down, went out of business. So I had to start going into London to Forbidden Planet, and Forbidden Planet was huge in Tottenham Court Road, and I was really impressed with it, and because of them I ended up picking a load more stuff. I thought I'd show this off.
Nice. Oh yeah.
So this is the preview comic that came out, and this is the whole of Volume 1 of Fathom. I'm not going to, but this is the first issue.
Did you think you were going to show all that shit off?
No. I just grabbed the whole Volume 1. I just grabbed the whole
awesome, dude.
No, I just grabbed the whole Volume 1.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to also.
It's hard just to choose a few things.
It really is.
I'm just surrounded. I'm just trying to figure it out.
And then like this as well.
Nice.
So I can't get the camera quite right.
Oh man.
But yeah, I loved all of that stuff. I still collect a lot of modern and Marvel stuff, but back then I was a huge Top Cow fan as well. I don't really like most of the modern Top Cow stuff, but I was at one point I was buying everything from Top Cow and Spider-Man and X-Men. Actually, there's something I want to show you.
There you go.
So there was this shop near my parents' house, which was kind of like a junk shop. It sold everything, toys, comics. Wasn't like a true comic shop. It didn't sell new comics, but it had it just had boxes and boxes of shit in, and I'd go in and just pick stuff up. Anyway, this is when I first started getting into comics. So it was between driving from Staines to my parents' house. So I'd go and buy comics, and my parents would take me. And my mum and me, we stopped at this comic shop, and I was telling the guy I'd just started buying comics and the Clone Saga. Anyway, he picks up this graphic novel.
Ooh.
And obviously this is a reprint. It's got all the 70s stuff, but this was the actual original Clone Saga from the 70s. My mum bought this for me, thinking, oh, Mark will be reading this for a couple of weeks. I got home and I read it within like an hour.
Wow.
And she was like, oh, and didn't realize you were going to read it that quickly. But no, I always kept this, even though it's obviously a graphic novel, because I thought this, actually, my mum bought this for me.
Oh, yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Very personal to you. Definitely got you in through the door. I love it, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
that's your blaming?
Well, I mean, I'm sure I could show a lot more, but there's obviously other people here.
All right, brother. That was awesome. Amazing set of books. Let me go to my brother, the other Mark. Mark's Marvelous Comics, my brother. Hey. I know you got something.
Yeah, just a few. I've got, you might recognize these.
What's that?
These are the mini Marvel books, mini Marvel Spider-Man books from the American bubblegum machines back in 1966. Yeah.
I've never even seen these before.
Yeah.
Oh, the lag
mini Spider-Man books. All Ditko as well. So yeah, that's a prized possession. That's not been opened either. And the other one I've got is I've almost got this, but it's a silver foil. It's the silver foil version of the Amazing Spider-Man issue 1.
Oh yeah.
And I've just one more. I've got.
Wow.
Signed by Tom Holland as well.
No way, dude.
Yes. So that's in a nice presentation case. So yeah.
Wow.
That was an early Christmas present back in just when No Way Home came out.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's your blaming?
Yeah, somebody else's turn.
That was awesome.
I could go on for hours, but
yeah, I know.
Give somebody else a chance.
Let's go to my brother Rob, man. Rob, what do you got for us?
Well, I got one of my dad's originals that I grew up on.
Wow. Hell yeah.
I come in now with the creepy voice.
That one forever.
That's amazing.
Here's the one that got me started on X-Men.
Yes, sir. Nice.
And that's the one that I bugged my mom and picked up off the rack. I've had that forever. But this is where it all started.
Nice. That is gorgeous, brother.
Here's the first prog I actually picked up.
What number is that?
That is 405.
Wow.
85.
That's an early one then.
Yeah. And here's one of my favorites because here's the only one I actually bought in the UK when I was in London. Army.
Great.
That's great, dude.
Wish I grabbed a lot more. And one of my prized possessions, maybe hard to see. This is a Judge Dredd sketch from Ian Gibson.
What?
I was chatting with him and he sent me this a couple months before he passed. So
wow.
That right there is one of my favorite things ever.
That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
But yeah, just like, I mean, growing up, I was reading Weird Worlds and Weird.
That is, yeah.
It's just,
listen, dude.
I grew up on.
If I ever get a chance, because like I said, there's not too many comic shops around here, and even less that would carry stuff like that in their back issue bins. But if I ever come across those kinds of books, you best believe I am coming home with them. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're just great.
That is,
of course, I got to show this just for Steve.
There you go. Coco's happy. Coco's happy. Uh-oh.
All
Hold
right,
on, Coco.
good.
I'm going to get to you, Coco.
No, it's for Rob.
Thank you, guys.
That is awesome, dude. Hell
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
brother. Awesome. All right, let's go to my brother, Gord, Dimension Slip. What you got, brother?
Well, straight away I'm blaming Mark because I saw his post and within a few minutes I clicked and bought that. So
That is
I'm
awesome.
you straight away. It's a gorgeous cover.
Yang.
Yeah, it's limited, so that's
Nice.
Currently got this to read. I haven't read it yet. I don't know whether I want to or whether.
I've read it. It's not very good.
This I've just picked up the first volume of
Yes! Let's
Savage
go!
Avengers. Somebody posted this. I forgot who posted it, but the Finch cover, and I checked a copy of it digitally, and I thought I just need to get that. So I'll just this.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
That's my last issue now. So I've got the first 28 issues. So looking forward to reading that. I'm kind of going to blame. It was either Kyle, Leroy Lamb.
Leroy, he was in here, man. He was in here earlier.
Daryl at Regional Comics, but they posted some Defenders, and I thought I've got a couple of Defenders, and then I just thought I'm going to go for it, and so I've just completed my Defenders run, the Defenders from, and
nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Get that at a good knockdown price because there's a little crack in the outer frame, but so my Defenders run. So I'm blaming those for sending me on a wild goose chase, spending a lot of money. The other thing that I'm heavily into and a bit of a collectomania is action figures.
Oh.
So this is the first one from Toy Biz, Spider-Man Classics. This is the McFarlane figure. It's kind of a bit yellow at the moment from display. So there was that, and that I picked up at the same time.
Whoa, dude.
The old Toys R Us. But then, you probably see in the background, I've got quite a few to unbox.
I see him. I have that X-Men set. I recently got that one.
Yeah,
$275.
And I've just opened the Wolverine figure to complete that run. I know whether you can see just on the top shelf there, bro. Power Man and Luke Cage has just turned up. So I can't really blame anybody for that, apart from Toys R Us. And then just couldn't stop. So
I feel you, brother. I'm in the same boat as you, man. I was into comics, and all of a sudden, I'm just like full in on figures, man. That's what I've been doing for the past year.
Yeah, there's a Hot Toys behind me. That shoulder. You can see it's an Iron Man Hot Toys.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh yeah,
Captain Scarlet 12-inch figure, limited edition there.
Oh yeah,
in the box. So I was very much into Super Mario Nation as a kid, which is obviously in Stingrays, Thunderbirds.
Of course, yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a couple behind me. Number 2.
Yeah, I saw Thunderbird 2 and Thunderbird 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, I'll let you go on to somebody else because my room's full of great geeky stuff that we all love, apart from in this community. So
hopefully you free them from the box one day, man. Gotta free them for the box. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, man. Send us home, my brother Coco. F-Star collects, man. Send us home.
So, guys, I want to start with this one.
Oh.
So the story behind this book is when I was a kid, one of the hand-me-down books that we had was this book. My brother told me a story about the cover. It gave me nightmares. He told me that he was taken away to that place where that guy's getting taken on that chair, and I had nightmares about it for a few days at least.
Nice.
And, my mother wanted to get down to what was happening, why I was upset. And when she found out, she just grabbed the comic, threw it into the fire, the open fire, and that was the end of the comic book. So I always had an image in my head of this, what the cover was like, and I only recently, like last year, found this after years and years of searching. So
That's
here it
awesome,
is.
dude. Hell
It's
yeah.
actually by Steve Ditko, believe it or not. But yeah,
Check
it's a
out.
reprint from. Yeah,
Looks like it's in good shape too.
yeah. Well, it's a lovely copy of it. So just while one of the things I often post on Instagram are the side by sides. So I thought I'd bring a couple of wee things on here just to show you. So you're all familiar with this one, though.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Favorite covers.
Ta-da! So
Hey.
we'll do a little side by side here.
Nice.
So yeah, and when one's not good enough, you get two. It's funny
Wow.
that book as well.
This
It took
guy.
me years to find a nice copy of it, and then I found two in a couple of days. This is also a yeah. There you go.
I'm starting to
Weekly.
think. I'm starting to think it's easier to get comics in Ireland than in New York, man.
I said I have the nose like a bloodhound, you know, going out to find what I want. Another British one here. I thought some of you guys will know this one. So your Steranko cover.
Oh yeah.
So when that was released in America, the face was too.
The face, yeah. They changed the face.
So they changed the face. We were lucky enough in the UK to get the original.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
This
that's
guy.
the original. That's how his face should have looked. So I think Steranko.
Yeah, I don't know
calls
what
it,
they were thinking,
Teddy
man. The
Bear Hulk.
original face is great.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what else did I bring?
Ooh.
I thought
Damn.
I'm not just sure. Today's Shelfie Sunday was dedicated to Silver Surfer.
Look what Mike said. Mike said
Yeah,
Stephen
so-
is the king of side by side action.
So I thought I'd bring that. And then just to finish up here, guys. Oh, sorry, one other thing. Just this book here. Warren mentioned yesterday about the Cursed Earth Saga. I was lucky enough to have met some of the writers and artists that worked on it. Just a signed copy that I have. Yeah. So, and the last thing here, guys, where is it? One thing more. Aha. Just a little thank you to Fable for having us on the show. Some Transformer UK specials.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's a couple.
Damn, dude.
So, I'm getting ready to send some stuff over to Banjo Zombie soon.
Ooh.
So if Banjo wouldn't mind, I'll send him to Banjo and he can forward them on to you, Fable.
Oh my god, you kidding me?
Thanks to you, dude. And just for Rob, this is going to Rob soon.
Rob, there you go, Rob.
First appearance, Judge Dredd.
That's my grail.
Yeah. It's going to Rob.
Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
Thanks for having
That's
us
how
on,
you
dude.
do it, man. That is how you do it. That is amazing. Guys, man, I wish I had more time. I really do. I didn't get half. What happened, brother? Joe?
Fable,
Yeah.
I don't get to do this, but since everybody's here, let me open this up.
Uh-oh. What do you got there, brother Joe?
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Dead
Let me make that's a dead body.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Original VHS. Don't let Robbie see that.
Legend.
Nice.
Oh my
Nice.
god. Ah! I had that one for sure.
A couple of more things, but that's it.
Oh, go ahead, brother Joe.
Oh.
Frisbee.
Mint in box. Oh my gosh. Oh yo. Brother Joe gets the coolest stuff, man. I swear to God. He does. Oh man.
Thank you.
No, thank you all, man.
Coming in unexpected voice.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I mean we've already been going almost 2 hours, guys, man. I can have you guys here and talking about this stuff forever. I wish I could. I had to cut about 3 questions out of the 5 that I had for you guys.
Maybe save them for part 2.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna have you guys probably individually, maybe 2 at a time on future shows if you guys have some time, and we can dive in even more. Because yeah, I mean, sometimes on this show we talk about certain things, and I'm always fearful that we won't, have enough time, or not have enough time, that it won't be long enough, right? Like the show will be too short, and all of a sudden we're here about an hour and a half talking about one thing. And so I don't know why I'm always paranoid of that. But guys, thank you for your time. This was amazing. Before we get out of here, I just want you guys to tell me anything that you got going on. Tell everybody your page, where they could find you, things like that. I'll start off with my co-host, my brother Mark. Where can we find you? What do you got coming up?
Cheers, man. Thanks for having us on, and thanks for organizing it. It's amazing to meet everybody on here, and hopefully we'll keep in touch. And equally, as I'm going to tell you what I do, I've got a podcast with my co-host Jasmine, who is in Houston. Me and Jasmine actually met via Twitter about 10 years ago, and then at the start of COVID, we were like, fuck it, we've been talking about it for a while, like for years, and COVID happened and we made a podcast, and I think we've made something around 200-ish episodes. So wow. We've got just under 170 of like our main one, and then we have like a book club, which I think we've just done 20 episodes of. So the book club is essential graphic novels, and next week, memories we had previous one just come out. I'm getting a bit confused now. Logan came out this week, so we've been working through the last 20-ish episodes of every live action X-Men related movie, and we started actually with Fable with Generation X. I don't know if you guys saw the TV movie that came out years ago, which was not very good. We've gone through all the team ones, including New Mutants. Logan just came out this week, and we'll be then going into the Deadpool as we gear up for Deadpool Wolverine. Me and Jasmine will then take a break for about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, and then we'll come back again around October-ish time as we head out the rest of the year. And we haven't quite worked out what we're covering at the end of the year, but our podcast is essentially an adaptation, or we review adapted content from comics or video games. So,
oh yeah, everybody go check out Geeks Unleashed, man, on every major podcast platform, Spotify, iTunes, and on YouTube, man. If you want to see a YouTube version of it, there's a YouTube version of it. So glad to have you, Mark. You're the man, brother. Love you to death.
Cheers, thank you.
Oh yeah. My man Banjo, let the people know where we can find you, brother.
Right now, of course, I'm on Instagram, but I'm going to start working on a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I just finally discovered this and figured this out, because I got all like the 80s. I want to do a whole history on First Comics and how all their titles and artists and everything started. So diving into that.
Oh yeah. Well, you got 8 subscribers right off the bat, man. All of us are going to sub to that thing right away. Banjo, you've been amazing, man. Your collection is incredible. Everybody follow Banjo Zombie on Instagram. He's a great dude, great supporter, great lover of comics, and great lover of the community, man. Thanks again, brother.
Appreciate it, guys.
Mark, marvelous, my brother. First time meeting you, and you are awesome, brother. That mask blew me away, bro.
great host, and thanks a lot for the invite. Very humble. I'm just on Instagram. I don't really have time for much else. I teach martial arts. You might see the swords in the background. So I'm busy.
Yeah, don't mess with Mark is what he's saying. Okay, don't mess with him. Get a freaking chop to the neck or something. Mark, you're awesome, brother. Thanks for joining me, my man.
Thanks
Hell yeah. Hopefully I can have you on here again, my brother. Coco. Coco was so nervous that none of us would understand him. I think we all understood Coco pretty well, right?
Yeah. I didn't understand the word he said. Nah, I'm joking.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Where can we find you, Coco? What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, so Instagram's my only platform at the moment, guys. You see me every month, either participating in events or running my own events. So as always, you are all more than welcome to join.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'll just one wee plug here. me and Leroy are running John Buscema July at the moment.
I was just about to say that. Yep.
Yeah, jump on board with that one. And one more shout out here to, I forgot to mention Big Daddy Comics. Some of these from America, really, really hard to get over here.
Wow.
And I had a chat with them. I have a couple of them, but they're in really poor condition. And he basically said, well, which ones do you want? And I told him 3, and he sent them. They arrived within 48 hours.
Wow.
So, yeah. I had to give him a shout out. Amazing guy. I have a parcel. I'm preparing stuff to send to him as well. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome, dude. This community is amazing. It really is. But yeah, man, thanks again for joining us, man. I'm jealous of your little beard there, man. I want mine to grow in just like that. I want those grays right there.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah. Oh, my brother, Gord. Probably the reason why we're even doing this show. Gord, tell them where they could find you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm only on Instagram at the moment, but this has given me a flavor.
Yeah.
I'm humble. Thank you for inviting me on, and I'd love to do it again, even if it is 2 o'clock in the morning to us. So just bring some Red Bull with some vodka in it. Enjoyed it. So yeah, Dimension Slip. Name's Gord. I try to join in as many of the hashtag events. I've got the John Buscema to do later.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just a big shout out for last month. I did a yellow cover June. The reaction was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
How exhausting it was. The amount of people who were contacting and reaching out and followers, and I don't do it for the followers, to gain followers, but it's it went up like 500. It's incredible, and
that's insane.
Nice.
Yeah, so really appreciative of that. And what I've got coming up, well, one of my posts probably just over a year ago is my house got flooded. We had torrential rain. I lost 200 comics, and the whole of the ground floor has been remodeled, redecorated. My decorators let me down, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. So as soon as this is over, I've got to go and fix the toilet. And then post. So,
glamorous life of a YouTuber.
Don't worry, I'll send Banjo over there on a plane. He'll help you out, man. Banjo's handy, man. Building all kinds of stuff over there. But yeah, man, guys, this was fantastic. Like I said, thank you all for joining me. Of course, you can catch us. Right now, we're on hiatus. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm going through a lot of stuff right now. I'm on a move. I'm trying to plan this move to North Carolina, like all of you know, and that is not as easy as it sounds, right? You got to tie up a lot of loose ends and figure out how to get into that state and do things the right way, right? Wow. So I wanted to do a bunch of shows in between, and I really couldn't even do that. I mean, I'm lucky that we squeezed this one out the way we did, and I'm grateful for it. So I was actually going to announce that the next show that I do will be my final show, Blaine Fable and His Amazing Friends. But this community just does not let me go, man. They are amazing. They're always offering to jump on the show, to hang out with me. They want me to come on their shows, and it's just something that I just cannot stop, right? I don't want to let anybody down. And to be honest with you, while going through this is my good time, right? If that makes any sense. This is, if I gave this up, then God knows how far into depression I would sink throughout this process, right? So it's something that I can't stop doing. So our next show won't be our final show, but it will be our final show of the season, right? Because I do these things in seasons. If you guys, I'll let everybody know when that is, so everybody could tune in. Of course, my regular crew will be back. Stu, Nick, Brother Joe, of course, and we'll do a season finale. So stay tuned for that. But until then, join me for Figgy Fridays on Instagram. Join me for Throw Your Sets Up Saturday. Oh, let me thank everybody for Throw Your Sets Up Saturday. Yesterday, we broke a record. Over 80 entries for Throw Your Sets Up Saturday yesterday, which was incredible. I've been doing it for about 2.5, 3 years. You guys, a lot of you guys on this panel have been doing it with me. I know Banjo, Coco, Dimension. I know you guys have been doing that stuff with me the whole time.
And please remember, we could not do it without you.
Right.
We could not do it without you.
Absolutely. But you can catch me immediately next on my brother Paul and the 619 and his amazing friends. That comes on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be a guest on the show. Paul and the 619 is just an amazing community member. Very sweet guy. Very awesome doing it. He's got an awesome crew over there. So I can't wait to hang out with him this Tuesday. So if you want to catch me there, catch me there.
That's 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, Big Herm. Final show. Didn't you do that twice, Fable? Never final. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. Like every time I want to do it, I can't. I just can't. Whether it's somebody pulling me back in, whether it's
Didn't Michael Corleone try to use that line a couple of times?
Exactly.
Uncancelable.
And let me tell you, I appreciate it, man. And you're talking to a kid that, I had nobody to talk to when I was growing up about this stuff. I didn't have the brothers or the parents or any of these things. And this is the first time in my mid 40s that I'm meeting so many people and so many awesome people. And I mean, look at this. I got what, 6 brothers here from across the pond, man. This is insane to me. This is craziness. You know what I mean? So, won't be the last.
Gentlemen, when I explain to people outside of this community what I do, I tell them, do you know I have friends and family across the country, not to mention across the world, through this media? And they don't understand, they don't comprehend that. We can reach out and touch each other.
I like that.
But touch each other.
Yeah, man. So I can't go away, so yeah, we'll be back. Stay tuned. And I just want to plug also Mr. Anthropic 666, my brother Warren, who was in and out of the show. I know he's upset that he couldn't be on here the way he wanted to be, but go check him out. He's constantly going live on Instagram, showing off amazing books, just things you've never heard of, seen. Art is incredible. So when he goes live, when he press that live button, please tune in, man. It's a good time with him. So guys, there's only one thing left to say. Be excellent to each other. Definitely. And party on, dudes. Where's my brand? Where's my brand?
The Peach Mamoko.